Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Joe, Data Science Building Blocks. If you haven't seen the last video, this is really a part 2 to that one, so go back and check out the last one. And also the way this channel works is we've been building from video 1, just chronologically, getting a little bit more advanced as we go, so I recommend checking out the 6 or 7 videos before the last one as well. For those who have been following along on our Data Science Building Blocks 1 worksheet, just go ahead and navigate to the data table, this tab right here. Today we're going to look at the data analysis toolpak, specifically correlation. You'll see it here on the data ribbon under analyze, and if you don't see it, that's okay. Just like the last video, go to file, more, options, add-ins. If you don't see it here, drop down Excel add-ins, click go, and you should see it, analysis toolpak here unchecked. Just check it and click OK. If not, browse for it, pull it into here, check it, and click OK that way. You'll see a couple other things. We looked at solver last time, and next time, get excited for VBA, we'll take a look at that as well. But for now, click OK, go back to this tab. And I mentioned we have to do a little bit of work, so let's copy the tab. Remember to hold Control, select it, move it over, or you can right click, do a move or copy, create a copy, click the tab you want, and there. Now I have 2, so I'll delete one, but you can do it either way. And we will rename this, I want it on the right side, correlation. And we want to do a correlation, I think between entities. We'll do entity, but we have to transpose the year and put them on top. And we care about life expectancy for all of these entities. So this is probably best done with pivot tables. And let's make a quick pivot table to put this in the format that we want. Click anywhere on the data table, insert pivot table. For now, we will just put this on the existing worksheet. So click existing, click this button here on location. I'll put it in H3. We're going to delete the table eventually, so we'll put it in H3 and copy the pivot table when we're done, and then delete columns A through E. We want year in columns, entity in rows. So this will look familiar to what we have on one of the other tabs when we did the index match formula, and then just life expectancy and values. This is really exactly how we want it, and then we'll do a correlation for all of these years for the entities in column H. Let's copy the pivot table. I don't want the grand totals, I just want the years and the column labels and all of the life expectancies. And it doesn't matter if it's sum or average in this case for the values, since we only have 1 per year per entity. Sum or average will give you the exact same thing. So I'm actually going to put this all the way down. I'm still copied on it. I'm going to put it all the way down here, right click values, and now this is our new table. I can click 3255, scroll all the way up. I did Control Shift up arrow on Windows. It's Command Shift up on Mac. Right click and delete. So this is what I need in this case. We don't need a row labels, so you can delete that. I'm going to just click this area here to highlight everything, and then drag one column, and then every other column will resize to that length. Then I just want to select all of the data. I'll do a comma just to format it and make it whole numbers. This is just easier on the eyes. And then I'll double click A. Now for our correlation. If we go to data, we should have this now, data analysis, correlation. Click OK. Input range, we want to do this by entity, so I'm going to select all the entities, leave the rows out of it. We don't actually care about that, we just care about the correlation between the entities. labels in first row. That's wrong, so we want to change this to rows, labels in first column. We selected the entities. And then we can just do the output range right beneath it by clicking existing worksheet and selecting it. We'll just start it right here in A18. So click this again. Sorry, you want to click output range, not existing worksheet. And then select your A18 on this worksheet, and then click OK. Perfect, and now we have a little correlation table here. I like to select the data and again clean this up, go back, click the comma. Much easier to look at now. We can do some very quick conditional formatting. We'll do greater than 0.7 is green. This will focus our eyes a little better. Oop, it didn't work there. Greater than 0.7 is green. Okay, so they're all greater than 0.7 in this case. Let's do 0.98. That looks a little better. Click OK. So now we can see, obviously Australia is perfectly correlated to Australia. It's the same data. Same with Brazil, Canada, but now we can see all the areas where a country is correlated to another country over that span of years. So Australia and Canada move pretty closely together. Brazil and India move pretty closely together. In reality, they all move pretty closely together. Life expectancy is really a global thing, so it's probably better to use a different data set for this data, but this is one we're comfortable with, and it still illustrates how correlation works. We can take a look at one of these and just see how they all move. Maybe if we pick one that's not as correlated, it'll be easier to see. So if you select the data again, do conditional formatting, and then let's just do less than 0.85. Light red fill would be better. So China and Australia aren't really correlated, but we know Australia had some missing data. So unfortunately, we don't have anything. This one right here, we can take a look at. India and Switzerland, this 0.88. So I changed the text to red, highlighted it yellow. Let's take a look at India and Switzerland. So I will select all of this raw data. I'll go all the way over to HJ to select the first row, and then all the way down I did Control Shift. That's a very popular command, as you've probably learned by now. I'll go to Sort and Filter. Now I'm just filtering on this data. In this first column, I can do the two countries I'm interested in, India and Switzerland. And you can see that these are pretty different. So 25, 38. So we can just scroll and sort of get a feel that, you know, this is one relationship that's much different than all the others. If we were to select something like Germany and Italy, we would see something much closer together. So Germany and Italy, maybe not at first, but now these are pretty close, right? After we get, remember there's a lot of data here, so it's not just dependent on the 1800s, it's dependent on everything. And we see that, you know, life expectancy here in 47 is pretty similar. It's exactly the same or close to it later in the 1900s, and pretty close to the same even today in 2016. It's year 2021, so we're missing 5 years of data here, but pretty close to the same in the 2000s. That's really all I wanted to demonstrate today as far as correlation goes. Jump into some VBA next, so stick with us, and we'll see you next time.